opinion, it was a little bit stagnant. You know, this brings something new. This brought a lot more eyes to boxing. The fans are loving it, and yeah, we just hope we grow from strength to strength.
Can you share any of your plans for the future of Fight Island?
Yeah, so next year we want to do 5 shows. So we want to do 3 Fight Islands and 2 development tournaments. I just think we need to keep the fighters active, and with the 5 shows, I feel it will be enough to really push the guys. We want to do, you know, depending on all the fighters' results on Saturday, we'll want to do, yeah, another title. We'll definitely, Dylan Prosser, if he wins, he'll definitely be fighting for a title in April. And we want to bring Kaya back here. Definitely want Kaya to defend his WBC Youth World title. And yeah, there's just a lot of options, a lot we can do, but obviously all depends on what happens on Saturday night.
Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Matt, you've been quite busy now with quite a lot of fighters. Sometimes it went your way, sometimes it didn't. What were the highlights if you have to pick 2?
I think the highlight is definitely Kaya's win over Ardi. I think, you know, we had to go at 2 titles with Caleigh. She just came up short for the RBO Africa. Dean came up short against Don John. And Kaya, you know, Kaya saved the day coming off the canvas and winning the WBC Youth World title. You know, that's what it's about. You know, I feel that you can't always take sure fights. You know, you have to test yourself. And, you know, especially that Caleigh and Dean have now been in there with the best fighters in Africa. They can only get better. I'm going to bring them back. Caleigh's coming back next week. She'll be fighting. Dean will be fighting again in December. It will be their 7th fight. So, you know, from there, they can just get back into title contention and get back in the mix. But I think it's important to put fighters from Western Cape in those magnitude of fights. There's no point fighting people at home that you know you're going to win all the time. It just doesn't grow boxing. It doesn't grow the fighter.
Nocele, I have a question for you. So this is the 4th Fight Island. In your opinion, as province manager, what has this promotion done for boxing in the Western Cape?
Wow, thank you. It just look, boxing in the Western Cape has been growing so well in the past, and the entry of Fight Island in the mix has also helped a lot. As Matthew was saying, that Kaya went on to win the WBC title, and you have seen the last 3 Fight Islands, you have seen the matchmaking there. And the matchmaking has not only been just to take the boxes, it has been there to make sure that it grows the boxers. Remember when Kaya fought this boy Matt Samuel, when he was defending Western Cape title, very few people, I'm talking about the Western Cape people, were giving him a chance on that one. And the states, they were saying the state was going to be too big for him. Then after that, what happened? He went to Emperors, he won the WBC title. We saw Caleigh fighting for the IPO Africa title against the Sima, the local derby, which was taken to Emperors Palace. We've got Dilly here with us, has been fighting on the Fight Island. And he's growing every day. So generally speaking, boxing has been growing in the Western Cape. And if you can have a look at most of the boxers who are winning either international titles or whatever, you'll find out that they were first Western Cape champions. Here's Asekho today. He first won the Western Cape bantamweight title, and today he's the WBF Africa champion. Kaya Mnata won the Western Cape junior featherweight. Today he's a WBC youth. Today he won Western Cape title, and today he's an IPO Africa title. So you can see that it's growing, and especially with the pushing of these Western Cape titles. Fight Island have had how many Western Cape titles? 2, Western Cape titles. And as he says that in the next year, they are looking at a stage in 5 tournaments, 3 Fight Islands and 2 development. Just imagine if they can have in those 3 Western Cape titles, then by 2027 we'll have other international champions.
Do you believe that Cape Town has the chance to be as big as what Joburg currently is? Do you see the future of boxing in the Western Cape to match that level?
Look, in terms of numbers, we might be smaller than both Gauteng and Western Cape in terms of numbers. But if one could look at how we built our boxers, one would find out that if we had numbers, we would be much better than those provinces combined. Why am I saying that? You'll find out that we are the featherless town in South Africa. There is no other town that is as fair as Cape Town. It's very expensive to bring in any boxer from anywhere for Cape Town promoters because you bring from Joburg, it's very far. You bring from East London, it's very far. Limpopo is very far. Unlike places like Joburg can get people from Limpopo, Durban, Mpumalanga, they're all around there. So Cape Town is the furthest place in South Africa. So sometimes we are too harsh on our promoters by saying, why you always bring in Kagas, because it's not easy for them. But answering your question, that if we had numbers, the number in Western Cape to date, we've got 91 registered boxers in Cape Town today. You go to Joburg, they've got 231, 35, if I'm not mistaken, but it's out there, north of them. You go to Eastern Cape, they've got 187, somewhere there. So you will find out that we don't really have that pool, but we've got quality. And if you can look at the quality we have and the boxers we have, you will agree with me when I say they can match the best in South Africa at any time.
Yeah.
Would you like to say anything?
Thank you, Mzuri. I'm going to pass the mic to Don. So welcome, Don. It's amazing to have you fighting back in your hometown, and especially in a boxing ring. How have preparations been, and what can we expect from this fight?
It's something that me and Matt have spoken about for a long time. At one stage, we were actually going to go full out into boxing. So it's something that's we've been thinking about for a long time, and since I put a rest to my MMA career and that's been doing so well with the promoting, it seemed like an obvious next step, something that I've always wanted to do. And I think in terms of bringing a little bit like different viewership to the boxing arena. Right now it's like mainly just boxing fans. I've got a whole separate audience that will come to watch everyone on the card compete, rather than just the same sort of viewership numbers, the same sort of viewership people that come to watch these guys fight. These guys have been saying, there's like a lot of talent on the card, so it'd be good to get some more eyes from different viewers potentially. In terms of like the fight, I've been fighting for a long time, 20 years of fighting. I fought at the highest level of mixed martial arts and professional Muay Thai. This is just like another thing, preparation's been going well, and I'm excited to step into the boxing for the first time.
If I'm correct, I think the last time you fought in Cape Town was David Zaney. So how many years ago was that now?
Yeah, the last time I fought in Cape Town was 2017. All my other fights have been overseas, international, so it's like a homecoming.
Totally, and I think your fans are going to be so excited to see it happen.
I think so too.
A question is, do you think this is the one and done? This is the only time you're going to step in the boxing ring, or do you foresee yourself stepping in again?
I don't know. I just wanted to see how Saturday goes. If we do what we think we're going to do, and things go well, then who knows? Maybe we'll see an international fight come down. Maybe we'll get another MMA star to come face me. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Awesome, thank you.
Don, you're a big star of MMA. That's what we know you from. I gather you were a Muay Thai fighter before that. Fought in front of a king of Thailand, if I remember correctly. You've been EFC champion. You've had a couple of fights in the UFC, so you know the MMA environment well. Now, as you're in the boxing environment, outside the ring, the way it works as a business, as a sport, with Dana White now getting into boxing. We'll see how that works out. What do you think are the major differences?
There are some serious differences. I do believe that because MMA is still like an infant compared to boxing in terms of how long it's been around, some of the standards and some of the things that are like worked around in boxing are a little bit higher in terms of what athletes get paid, how much money they make per round, etc. There's like organizations that earn the titles, not the promoters that earn the titles. So like learning about all these different things is really interesting. I think MMA world has like a bit of a way to come in terms of that sort of environment, like what's best for the fighters per se. I still think MMA is more exciting to watch, but that's just me. You know, having now the opportunity to come step into a boxing ring and seeing like how things go behind the scenes, you know, it's something that I've always like been involved with. Obviously, me and Matt have been training together for 13, 14 years. I've sparred with some of the best guys in SA. I've trained with some of the best guys in SA. It's been many rounds of boxing sparring throughout my career. So it's nice to like see how things work on the other side now, being an athlete competing in boxing and seeing how the business of boxing works.
I always have to ask, you know, there have been some kickboxers that became boxing world champions, Troy Dorsey, James Waring. Do you find it hard in sparring when you now have to focus on boxing, not to kick for guy?
No, I mean it's almost like a challenge, you know. So it's like, okay, I have all these other tools that I could potentially use, but I'm going to handicap myself, and I'm just going to use these set of tools, you know. Guys always talk about like MMA as like, oh, what if he takes you down? It's like you forget that like a kick in the face, a knee in the head, an elbow to the face, that changes everything really quickly in the blink of an eye. So it's actually it's cool because most of the sparring that I've done throughout my career with Matt has been in the boxing ring, having to like handicap myself and focus on that one area of skill, which is I think it's a great way to train. I think it's a good way for like MMA fighters to be training anyway. It's harnessing certain skills and stuff. But I do always have it in the back of my head, like I could just take this guy down and strangle him at any moment.
Let's throw a few elbows in boxing.
Yeah, like it takes some restraint, but it's good. It's good.
Thanks, Don. We look forward to seeing you in the boxing ring.
All right, thank you, Don. Can we please pass the mic to Dylan? Hello, back
Hey guys.
there. Dylan, you are back after an epic fight. How do you feel? Do you feel like you can top that fight? How has training been going? Can you share more behind the scenes for us?
Hey, look, that fight that I had in the last outing was an incredible fight. It was a moment where I proved to myself that I can handle the tough moments of war and battle, and that I'm truly made for this. And this is what I dream of every day and what I work towards. So I'm looking forward to getting back in the ring after that experience, and with the new tools and the skills that I've learned in that fight, I'm ready to come and take somebody out in the first round.
Dylan, a real tough fight last time out against John Bopape. He nailed you a couple of times with big right hands, but you've proven that you've got the chin. You can take it, and you've got heart. You came back and you came out victorious in the end. What's the main takeaway that you've learned from the John Bopape fight?
I think the main takeaway from that fight is one punch can change everything, you know. So like, I got a bit complacent in the 7th round and I got hit by a clean shot. And in this game, you can't pass the ball. If you make a mistake, you get cracked and you get dropped in front of your friends and your family. So I think the biggest takeaway was to stay focused no matter what. When that bell rings, I have to stay completely focused and not let anything waver my focus from the fight and my opponent in front of me.
Thanks, Dylan. Now you're fighting a guy, Asekho Nocele. You fought him before, stopped him in 5 rounds. Is it hard to get motivated for this fight, being that you've been in such a high-profile one last time out of John Bopape?
Not at all. Look, I'm not motivated by my opponent. I motivate myself. Every fight for me is like a world title. The next fight is just as important as the last. Regardless of who I'm fighting, I'm coming with intent. I'm coming to seek and destroy, and I'm coming to take him out first round to show my improvements from last time.
Thanks, Dylan.
Thank you, Dol. Please can you pass the mic to Caleigh? Hello, Cal. Hello. So you are coming off a close decision loss for the IBO African title. Can you share what was going through your mind during that fight and what you are doing differently in this fight?
That fight was very challenging. There were places where I didn't feel I had my rhythm. We know what we did wrong in the camp, well not wrong in the camp, but we know what we needed to do to change and to adjust. And there was a point where I sat, I'm going to be quite honest here, that I think it was on the 8th or the 9th round, and I sat on the chair and I lost a bit of focus and honestly like said to myself, what am I doing here? And I have never been in a place like that before in my boxing career. And for that split second, you switch back on and you go into fight mode, and it was just getting back into my rhythm. And at the end of the night, when I got into bed, I thought to myself that I'm going to swear now, but in my head I was like, I fucking love this sport. I love being here, I love being in the challenge. It was an incredible fight for women's fights. Fight of the night at the same time. It was an incredible experience to be there and given that opportunity. At the beginning of the year I said to Matt, I just want to get 4 fights in this year. I wasn't expecting to have an IBO title fight. The last time I had a press conference was this time in April on Fight Island, and I'd mentioned that I want a South African title fight where there are female fighters underneath me getting this opportunity. And it did happen, and it played through, but yeah, like I said, it wasn't expected to get an IBO title. And I've never backed down from fights, and I love having this opportunity to come back again next weekend. I'm excited because I'm starting to feel my old self again. I know what I did wrong in the fight. What makes it so difficult about the sport is not like rugby or cricket, if you had a bad weekend, you can perform again the next weekend. So you sit for months reflecting and visualizing what it is that you can become better, and that's the biggest thing that I took from that loss.
That fight was so close, and there was a moment that you almost had her. Can you share for other fighters insights as to how to overcome that, coming from I almost had you and then it just didn't go my way?
It was a hard pill to swallow, I think, the week after the fight. In that moment, it's like you're so close, and you really mentally, like I said, you've got to really work on yourself mentally. There, know when to capitalize and when to carry on. I'm still learning, but this was a very big fight. It was a very challenging fight, and you can't be having small mistakes like that in such a big, important fight. So you really need to understand that the risk that you're going into for such a big fight, that you really have to just give everything that you got into that moment.
Thank you.
Caleigh, great fight last time out against Mika-eel Jacobs. If you had to fight her again, what would you change?
I just need to get my rhythm, throw more volume early on in the earlier stages and earlier rounds, use more of my footwork. That's probably what I would have done differently. Did
fighting in Joburg on a bigger stage than you used to, do you think that affected you, or that was not it?
The environment there was very different to Cape Town. You're dealing with altitude. I had the nosebleed. The atmosphere was also a little bit different, not as intense as what it is here in Cape Town. It felt, it's a bit odd for me to say, but it did feel a little bit of like a sparring session, just because it didn't feel like the environment really was as chaotic as it gets here in Cape Town, So that's another thing that is also challenging, is you've got to still know that this is a fight, and at the end of the day, you've got to capitalize on being there and performing and showing up to do your best.
Looking at female boxing globally, is there any specific fighter that you model after or that you follow or admire?
There's quite a few. Katie Taylor's definitely the prominent female figure. And there's a few in my division. Ellie Scottney, she's done very well for herself. It's just incredible to see what Jake Paul's doing for female boxing at the same time. It's great exposure, and it's good that women's fighting has been recognized on big platforms. I'm very grateful that I can have this opportunity to be sitting here with these guys and doing what I love. Matt's been incredible. The boys here have been incredible. Dill, last time I fought with Dill was my debut, I think, so it's nice to sit next to him and have a fight night with him. And also Don, I've been working with Don very closely the last 7 years. So, it's good to be back and I feel like I'm at home with these guys.
Thanks, Caleigh.
Thank you.
Can I add something there? About. Thanks, Matt. I would like to say, especially on a question in terms of female boxing, you know, on the 9th of August in Joburg, on that fight where Caleigh was fighting Sima, from Cape Town, the 5 girls who went to fight there, 440. And the response that came out of there was that Cape Town is like bridging the best female boxers in the country today. The fight, the main fight, that is between Caleigh and Sima, of the whole tournament, everybody will agree that was the best bout of the whole tournament. We had Asekho Nocele, who just shook up the whole hall there. We had Mika-eel as well, who was fighting this Xhosa girl, and she was so unlucky not to get a decision there. I'm not saying she was not, I'm not saying that. She was so unlucky not to get a decision there. And the 5th one, unfortunately, she couldn't fight Sarah. Then on the 19th of September, we also had an all-women tournament in Cape Town. You could see the girls, all Cape Town girls won on that night. You could see the standard of female boxing in Cape Town. It's like, if you could go anywhere else, our girls could beat any other girl in this country. And the testimony to that, the officials from Gauteng that we hear, they also said the same thing, that really, these girls, in what you call it, temperatures, they were very good, and they were like just one step ahead from here in Cape Town. And I would like to urge the people, especially Dorothy's here, who was one of our female people, because remember in Cape Town we've got a very, very small female population, 11 boxers, 2 female officials, 1 manager. We don't have a big population of the female people in our boxing. We'd like to urge people, especially the females, to come in and join us and be licenses, because the role that females play is so huge. You go to some gyms where there's youngsters, and especially the female boxers coming up, they always want somebody to talk to. I mean, if I'm a 14-year-old, 15-year-old and training on a mat, there are things that I would never be able to say to Matt. Whereas if there's a Dorothy in the gym, in the club, it would be easier for that youngster to talk to Dorothy. So guys, Troops female boxing in the Western Cape is growing every day, my brother. And in 2 years' time, believe you me, we are going to have more champions than anybody else. Remember, today we've got a South African champion, featherweight, Nosipho Tolashe, she's a female. We've got Mika-eel Jacobs, IBO Africa. We've got Asekho Nocele. Anytime next year, she's going to be the SA champion. We've got Mika-eel, she's going to be an SA champion. Anytime next year, we've got this girl from Felix, the Butterboy girl, who was making her debut on the 19th. Skill. The most talented. I think she's the most talented of them all. That girl, that Butterboy. It was her first fight, but what I saw there was like, she's amazing. She's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we pass the mic to Asekho?
Hello, Asekho, welcome.
Hi,
So, how were preparations for this fight? Are you excited for your fight coming up on the 25th of October?
the preparations for this fight were very good. We did very well, like we always do. I always prepare for each and every fight the same way. I never underlook my opponent, so I always push myself to the limit. So it's been a very good camp, getting some sparring from midfield, and also differentiating like volunteers, different couple of guys. So I'm pretty sure I'm ready for the fight. Definitely going to deliver that night.
Asekho, your opponent, Saul Shlungwane, he's fought many well-known opponents here in the local scene. He didn't win, but he's never been stopped in his career, and he's fought somebody like the ex-SA champions or Lisa Baiki. Are you going to be the first one to give us a knockout?
I'm pretty sure that I'm going to stop him. The way I've been training, the way I've been pushing so hard, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to stop him. Maybe on the later rounds, but I'm pretty sure that I'm going to stop him. I'm 100% sure, I'm confident that I'm going to do it, and I'm going to be the first guy to stop him.
We've been watching you here in Cape Town for a long time. You built your career, you're undefeated, you built it mostly in Cape Town. Then you had to move up to Joburg, and then you were there, you had a fight up there at Boysons, and now you're back in Cape Town. Why ever move to Joburg, or why ever move back again?
So that's a tricky one, but honestly, it was also good me fighting in Joburg, you know. It was more of me also want to leave the comfort zone. I've always had almost all of my professional fights in Cape Town, so it was a good experience. I also wanted to feel how it feels leaving the comfort zone and fighting in a different place with having the different fans and the different people. So it was a great experience, but I'm also happy that I'm back to fight in Cape Town. It's also a good venue. I've seen a couple of fights happening here, and I always wish that I would get a chance to be able to fight in this type of event. So I'm very happy to be back in Cape Town.
Asekho, your nickname. I'm looking outside here for Ferrari. They call you the Black Italian. Where does the nickname come from?
Okay, so the nickname is coming from me being young, growing up in the Eastern Cape. We had a couple of friends, and we were just a firm of friends, you know, being Montiel. So we called all of the firm like the Black Italian. So me getting into boxing, I just thought I should have changed my name. You know, there's a couple of guys, well, some of them pretty boy, this and this. So I thought I should just come with something different, you know. And also it reminds me and motivates the other friends of mine that we can do better, we can get to the top when they see me there. So that's where the name comes from.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And then Asekho, you have signed back with Saba and Nat, and it looks like things are happening for you after being signed with them. What are your thoughts for your career moving forward?
Honestly, with my new management, I've had a couple of chats with them. There has been some good things coming. So for me, I think I should just stay working, stay training and be ready, and the rest depends to my management. But I'm pretty sure they believe in me, I also believe in them. So with them having me having them trusting each other, we can go all the way to the top.
I'd also just like to welcome the president of the WBF, Howard. Thank you for putting this fight together, and thank you for being here. I'm sure you have a few words for everyone.
Thank you very much. Firstly, pay tribute to you and your team for not only bringing boxing to Cape Town, but to lifting the standard dramatically. So well done to you guys. One of the policies of the WBF is not to sanction fighters with negative records. Samurai Hungwani has a negative record, but he's as tough as they come, as Brooks correctly said. And in fairness, Asekho, who is a major talent, has not been tested that much. And this is going to be a big test, fighting somebody who's never been stopped. We have big plans for him. I had a discussion actually a couple of days ago with Dimitri Salita. For those of you who don't know, he's probably one of the top promoters in the world today. Promotes Clarissa Shields, and we always talk about talents in South Africa. We spoke about 4 or 5 people, and Asekho was one of them. He's a major talent. He's got to keep his feet on the ground, he's got to just keep working, and there's nothing stopping him. I look forward to a great tournament next week, and I'm actually very grateful that I'm here because I'm often not in this country. So yeah, I look forward to it. I look forward to seeing the women's fights. The WBF was the first sanctioning body actually to push women's boxing, and we believe a lot in women's boxing, and that there should be equal opportunities for them to fight. So let's have a great tournament, and again, well done to you, Matthew, and your team.
Thank you. Can you please pass the mic to Josh? Hi Josh, welcome. So Josh, you have a tough test in front of you for the 25th of October. Can you share what we can expect from you from the fight and how camp has been going?
Camp has been going really well. I think probably my best camp so far. In terms of what to expect, I think I'm always someone who enjoys putting on a show for the crowd and for the fans. But nevertheless, it's still a fight at the end of the day. I've got a lot to prove, not just for my own team and fans, but also for myself to set the standard and let people know that I'm not just like some little boy. Because I feel like I still kind of have that feeling when I walk into a room sometimes when people talk to me, they don't take me too seriously. And I think this fight is definitely my biggest test so far, and I think it's also going to set the standard for how I'm viewed as a boxer and not just someone that's now boxing coming from a kickboxing background. So yeah, I'm looking to set the tone moving forward and having a really good fight.
Great. What is your prediction for the fights?
I'm not someone that likes to give predictions for myself. I can, however, say that we covered all bases. I hope he's training hard. I've been training extremely hard. I hope he's coming into every fight. With every fight, we prepare for everything. I think so far there's been a lot of tools that I've had in my box that I haven't been forced to go and fetch. I hope this is a fight where I can showcase more of my skills that people haven't been able to see yet.
Josh, you trained by your dad, Josh Senior, a professional in his own right back in the day. Sometimes father and son combos work, sometimes they don't turn out so well. Describe the dynamic between you and your dad in the corner.
In the corner, I listen. That's about it. I get instructions and I listen. I don't even want to say it's strange because it's been happening for forever. I don't know anyone else in my corner really. Even when he's not there, he's still coaching from the sideline. For the people in Cape Town that know Greg Plants, basically like my brother, he would be the only other person that sat in my corner, and my dad is like shouting from across the other side of the ring, across the other side of the room. So whatever he says goes, and that's, yeah, his word is law in the room.
Thanks.
Thank you, Josh. Please can you pass the mic over to Stephen? Hello, welcome. Good, thank you. You are coming off a nice win against Abuza. How were preparations for this fight and how is it fighting on Fight Island?
Okay, first and foremost, I want to thank Coach Ned and Mr. Sal for giving me the opportunity to fight in Fight Island again. And the preparation that we're going so good. I mean, even in the sparring, I'm getting good sparring from Luando, also Mika-eel, and I'm ready for the fight.
Great, and obviously fighting on Fight Island, how do you feel for the 21st of October?
Yeah, fighting the Fight Island, it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling, and I think it's one of the best venues here in Cape Town, not only in Cape Town, here in South Africa, like the fans, the atmosphere, everything, and I really enjoy it.
Awesome, thank you.
Sivenathi, you're only having your second pro fight now, so we don't know you well in the pro game. Did you have an amateur career?
I didn't have much here in Cape Town, because that was in Cape, but here I did have.
How many amateur fights?
Yeah, I'm not sure, over 100.
Would you still agree with me that the Eastern Cape is the mecca of boxing, or has it shifted to Gauteng?
No, it just shifted to Cape Town now.
Thank you, Sivenathi.
Thank you. And then I'm going to go to Shameeg. So Madge, do you mind passing the mic?
Shameeg.
Hello, welcome. How does it feel to be making your first appearance on Fight Island?
First of all, I want to say thank you Allah for everything He did for me. And second of all, I want to say thank you Madge and Saba, who can promote as well, Red. That's my first fight there. I don't have experience fighting at Cabo Beach, but I'm sure I'm always here to fight, and I think I'll be taking over.
Awesome. And can you share how training has been leading up to this fight?
Definitely always staying on. Never slacking my training and stuff. So I was 100%.
Shameeg, you were thrown into the deep end very early in your career when you challenged for the SA title against Caleigh Swart. You gave a good account of yourself. It didn't go your way that night. Is the SA title still something you want to pursue in the future?
That's up to my team. I know my career, so yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to go over to Mika-eel. There's been a lot of talk about you. Your first fight on Fight Island was an absolute war. What can we expect from you this time?
So, first, I'd like to thank my promoter, Brad, my manager, and everyone who's involved, in this opportunity. I think we can do the game plan is the same, doesn't matter what my opponent brings. If you want to move on the back foot, I can move on the back foot and forward. Doesn't matter, yeah.
Can you share what some of your goals are for your boxing career?
Basically, I want to become a champion. So world champion, if that's possible, I can make it that far. I'll be grateful for that. And just to make a name for myself, show the world my skills, my abilities, what I'm capable of. So that's the goal.
Mika-eel, in your fight against Moslem, was a very dramatic fight here at Cabo Island. You knocked him down hard there in the beginning of the fight. And then he sort of came back into the fight in the middle rounds, and then you closed strong again and to win the fight. Did you lose concentration somewhere in the middle rounds, or was he just strong?
He was strong, that I can say. But we expected that was the game plan. The game plan was basically to start off moving, but he brought the pressure early, and that we knew that was going to happen,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then I'd like to pass the mic to Kaya. Yep, you got it. Perfect. Welcome, Kaya. So you're recently coming off a really exciting win, a nail-biting fight. Can you share with us how it feels to be world champion?
Hi everybody. Being a world champion feels, I can say it feels great and amazing. Of the hard work we put in with my team as well. So yeah, it feels amazing with my team as well. The hard work.
Great. Does it not feel real yet, or has it sunken in? Does it feel like since in?
Now, being me, I'm just Kaya. So I won't say I won't write it on my head on world champion and stuff, but then the feeling that I have when I know being a world champion feels amazing, and the hard work that I put in on me and the team that I have. So, and I'm also grateful and thankful that I have the team that I have, the promoter that I have, and the supporters that I have. So I'm very thankful for that as well.
Can you share a little bit, looking back now from that fight, now in hindsight, what was your overall feel? How would you review that fight essentially?
Oh, the fight and the plan that we had, everything that happened, it's kind of like we planned it, even from the knockout as well, the knockdown. So from the knockdown, it's kind of like it opened our eyes and gave us that power of we must be focused on what we do now. So everything that happened that we planned it is not such as in the knockout we planned it that we might get knocked down and stuff, but then the way that it happened, we planned everything. So we managed to go through everything that we did
Kaya, a man of the hour, a man of the power. Congratulations on your win firstly. It was a very good fight, but you gave us almost an heart attack here in Cape Town. I know you gave Saba, it was closer than me maybe, but that first round was a torrid first round. You hit the canvas hard. Katomba did well the first few rounds, and then you clawed your way gradually back into the fight to turn it on its head and get the win. The first round where you went down, do you think you were maybe too relaxed? Were you nervous? I've checked you when you're walking on the ring, you look very, very relaxed coming into the fight. Think you were maybe a bit too relaxed, a bit cold, or was it just one of those things that happened?
Going inside the ring, I was just vibing with the song that I was going in with it. And first round, I felt like I was too tense and I was too stiff, that's the thing, and I wasn't warmed enough. And yeah, the room that we were in, like, was very hot, so I felt like I might be very, very like warmed enough, but then going inside the ring I was very, very cold. And thankfully for the first round that I get knocked, I had to open up my mask again as well, so I had to go back to the drawing boards, focus on my corner, and everything started there as well. So going in, I was very relaxed and very tense, I can say, yes.
Kyle, a big question. Who's next? Is there any particular opponent out there that you want? Is there any particular direction that you want to go from here on in your career?
Right now, after what I heard is that I only have one fight in South Africa. It's Yabulela or South Africa title. If ever I place your opponent, because I'm rating number 1 now, so there's no way or there's no other way to run from. So I'm going for it.
Okay, great. If you're number 1, you can just put in that challenge and we'll see what happens. Thank you, Kaya.
Thank you. And then just for Matt, we'd just like to ask about the fighters and their future, as well as any new signings, and if there are any new signings in the future.
There's one new signing we're going to announce on Monday. It's quite a big signing, female fighter. I'm sure a lot of people know who. Quite excited about that. And then going forward, obviously it just depends on what happens with Asekho and the guys on Saturday, and then we'll take it forward from there. But yeah, we've got big plans. We're working closely with Rodney Berman and Golden Gloves and Brad Norman, so we have a lot of support. So the future is looking really, really bright. And yeah, also I would just like to thank the sponsors that came on board and always with us: Tic Tac, IME, Cabo Beach Club, Castle Light. I really, really appreciate it. And actually all the fighters and the fans that have just supported us from day one, the fighters that have chosen to fight for me in Subway and Fight Island, I really appreciate it. The support in Cape Town has just been unbelievable. We're selling over 1,000 people at every event. I know half of the people at the event, so that just shows me those are people that have come up with me in my career in boxing in the last 15, 20 years and are still supporting me. It really means a lot. People coming out their way, buying tickets to see the fighters, and no questions asked. People just support us, and it's really, I really appreciate it. It's been overwhelming. When our matchmaker Willie calls guys to fight for me at Southern, I don't hesitate. Which really shows a lot, and we try to give back and look after the fighters as much as we can, and we just growing from strength to strength. And for me, I really appreciate it, and I just hope we can keep this momentum going, and we try our best for the fighters. The fighter comes first. We always try to get the best deal we can. And we put our money where our mouth is in the last year. I don't know a promoter that's been involved in 1 year that's made a world champion. You know what I mean? We've got 3 different title shots above that. Asekho's having his first defense now, so we're delivering, and I think we'll just keep the momentum. And yeah, with that, I'm a big shout out to Rodney Berman. He's a big mentor for me. And with the ID world, this wouldn't be possible. And we're just learning. I'm learning as I go. Sava, also a mentor for me. We're just taking it day by day. I'm still young in the game. I'm one of the youngest promoters, so I feel I've got a long journey ahead of me. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I'm just going to stay humble, keep learning the business side of boxing, and just give fighters the best opportunities possible. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time. And that is the end of our press conference. Looking forward to seeing all the fighters on the 25th of October at Cabo Beach Club. Thank you.